There's a way to seize the day. There's a place for the precious people.
Hi and welcome to my Patreon video. This is a little introduction to let you know who I am, what I'm all about and what I'm doing. So I'm a creative. It's really difficult to define the work you do when you're so eclectic in the work that you do, but essentially I consider myself a creative. First and foremost, a musician, but I work across a lot of different mediums in the arts and creativity. And as a result, I find myself doing a lot of different work. So my work revolves around people. I do a lot of work alone with myself in my own creative studio, but a lot of my work revolves around working with groups and individuals, some of whom have disabilities and some of whom have mental health issues or challenges in their life. Some are minority groups as well too, and my work first started in 1990 when I started working in what was the precursor to arts and disabilities, which is now often referred to as access classes, art classes and things like that, for people who did have a disability, who weren't usually able to access classes that took into consideration their own needs and their own special considerations that often happen when you have a disability or have some kind of special need. So I started working with a woman who called Sally Chance, who was from England, and together we co-founded Restless Dance Company, which is still working today in Adelaide. And that was some 25, 27, oh my gosh, I can't even remember how long ago. It was a long time ago. From that experience, I got a greater understanding of what it is to be creative. I actually found that working with people who were not considered normal actually taught me a lot about creativity. It taught me a lot about preconceived notions, and it also taught me a lot about how creativity can help not only the artist but other people either participating in the art process itself or finding the end result and experiencing something from that on a deeper level than what I had anticipated as a young artist myself. I became really keen to delve into this world of working with people who were different, who had different perspectives on life, and I was really struck by how little opportunity there was for not only artists but also people who would like to work with people who have disabilities or who have special needs. Finding it really difficult to find those opportunities because essentially it wasn't taken seriously at the time. It was more about, oh, well, that's a really nice thing for them to do, isn't it? And I thought that was quite strange from someone who'd experienced just the profound, extreme effects of working with people, the psychological benefits that can come for everyone involved in the whole experience. So a lot of my work revolves around teaching. I teach musicians, young musicians. I teach theatre. I teach music, and I teach a lot of other creative classes as well. A lot of them are one-off classes because that's what funding will allow. So it's part of it is here at my studio at Artscope Music and Management, but a lot of it is outside of this area and involved in other areas in Australia. And there's still a big challenge there. There's still a big stigma associated with what purpose has creativity. What purpose does music and the arts and theatre and things like that, what purpose do they serve? I'm finding a lot of schools these days too are not offering these classes anymore outside of them being electives, which means that young kids too are missing out through the school system on these incredibly powerful experiences that not only facilitate good psychological health, but also good mental health as well. And as we know, we've got a challenge at the moment in mental health. So it's very challenging. It's difficult at times, and there's very little funding for these kind of things, these kind of programs. I'm very excited to be considering at the moment doing some work in prisons and in other minority groups to develop programs and to facilitate programs that can have ongoing benefits for people culturally, psychologically, and intellectually as well. In terms of what I can do and what I can help outside of the funding vacuum, I've written books. I initially wrote a book called Mindful Nurturing, which is a parenting book. I'm a parent myself. I'm in the process of writing Mindful Change, which is a book about change and obviously being mindful about that and how to integrate change into your life. And I'm also writing a book called Head Frack, Living with the Creative Mind as well. So there are a lot of different projects that I'm involved in. There's a lot of different projects that I would love to get off the ground. Whilst I talk a lot to people about the exciting process and the exciting potential of these projects, I do need your support. I need your support to help me spend the time on developing these programs and to help facilitate them so that funding isn't really an issue. If I am able to get some support from patrons like yourself, then I'll be able to continue my work, continue the education of the community, and keep plugging on and keep working with people who don't necessarily have the opportunity like other people do. So thanks for watching. I tried to keep it short, and I really appreciate your support. Thanks.
Find a place, leave a trace. There's a way to save the precious people. There's a way.